What's going on, guys? So, today I wanted to talk about a topic that I've been thinking about a lot now that I'm trying to, be more in charge of my finances and build this, financial future for myself and think about career paths and kind of how I want to progress through life. And I don't have a script for this video, so I might go on a few rabbit holes or tangents, just a fair warning, but it's kind of on the topic of when you're getting into finances and trying to make a lot of money and wanting to be successful, it's kind of like, why are we doing this, right? Like, usually the first step to getting in control of your financial future before it's creating a budget or trying to figure out where you want to save money or cut expenses. The first thing is like trying to find a goal, right? Like where am I going to go? What am I going to do when I reach this goal? Or, why am I doing this, right? So the reason I'm talking about this is because, I feel like as I've been kind of sifting through financial YouTube and looking at different ways of making money and passive income and stuff like this, right? You come across like two people. You come across the people who they seem super relaxed, super chill. They don't look rich. They don't flash things in your face. They don't try to catch you with, look at this, look at that, look at me, look at this. It's more so like, hey, I'm building this financial freedom. I'm building this financial future for my family, for my kids. I'm at peace. I'm in a financial spot where I can do the things I love to do, and I'm happy. Those are the people I look up to. And then on the, kind of the other half of YouTube is the people who are, hey, you should follow my financial advice because I made this amount of money this year. I have this car and this car. I have this watch and this watch. I have this penthouse and this house. And, I'm way richer than you, so you should shut up and listen to me. And, especially in my age group around that kind of 18 to 24, 25 to 30 age group, I find a lot of people, gravitate towards that type. I have a lot of friends who want to be rich and want to be millionaires. And, I'm kind of that friend who tries to keep a level head. I ask them, okay, like, that's great. Like, your goals are amazing, but why do you want to be a millionaire? Or why do you want to be rich? It's like, oh, well, if I'm rich, I can buy this watch and I can buy this house and I can buy this car. And it gets, I start asking myself, it's like, does that really make you happy? It's like, maybe I'm only making this video because I just want to, express my internal thoughts of how I've thought about this before when I was younger. I'm 25 now, and kind of, where I thought money would take me when I was 20 to 23. But, I just genuinely think that it's not the material things that really make us happy, right? And now, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't want material things. I think material things are amazing. Like, for example, my parents actually call me 5-star because I love 5-star things. Like, I love nice restaurants. I love nice watches. I love cars. Love cars. I love nice real estate. So, like, I get wanting the nice things. But the more I've gotten older, the more I've grown in maturity and mentality, I realize that at the end of the day, it's not really those things that are going to make me happy. They might make you happy, but I don't think they'll make me happy. It's almost like that argument of, like, does money buy happiness? It's like, I think money buys experiences, and I think experiences can make you happy, but I don't think money truly buys your happiness. I think it can, get you towards a happier lifestyle or a happier place, but I don't think it's going to actually make you happy. Like, for example, like a story I always think of, even this was recent, like 6 months to a year ago. I've been working remote for a while and I had some free time on my hands. So I reached out to my buddy, right? And my buddy, he's an automotive detailer. He's like legit, like super good automotive detailer. I've never seen someone who can clean cars better than him. And you know how like dealerships have like their own detailing bay and they like scratch every car and they suck? He's like the guy that he had contracts with dealerships where he would work on the really, really nice cars, right? So the dealerships he had contracts with were like Porsche, McLaren, Ferrari, crazy contracts with these dealerships. And I reached out to him one day. I'm like, dude, I love cars. Like, sign me up. If you need help, I'm there, right? And he's like, bro, tomorrow, meet me here. We're going to start cleaning cars. I'll hire you. Cheap money, but it was just money I could make on the side. So I'm like, I'm down. So I show up to this undisclosed location, and there's like 10 McLarens, right? And man, I was so excited, like filming each one I clean, like enjoying sitting in them, taking pictures, like everything. Like I'm like telling him like, bro, this is crazy, like whatever. And my dream car, absolute dream car, is a 911 GT3 RS, right? And I don't care if it's the 991.2 or if it's the 992.1. I just want a 911 GT3 RS. That's like my dream car. And he also has a contract with Porsche. So we pull up to his little place near the Porsche dealership, and like we're cleaning 911 GT3 RSs. We're cleaning Porsche Boxster Spyder RSs. Brand new cars, optioned out of their mind, like crazy cars. And like the first week I was there, I was like, this is like amazing. Like I'm cleaning my dream cars. I'm cleaning all these exotic cars. This is the best thing ever. Well, after like the 20th McLaren, bro, it's just a car. Like at the end of the day, it's literally just a car. And what's crazy is like after like 3 weeks of working with him, I couldn't even bother to pull out my phone because I'm like, okay, it's just a McLaren again, like whatever. No, it's just a McLaren Senna. Like we were cleaning like McLaren Sennas. Like we even detailed Jeffree Star's McLaren Senna, the one with the like Tiffany blue interior with the Tiffany blue brakes on the black exterior. I cleaned that car. There was a 765 LT McLaren that was full exposed blue carbon fiber. I did a few McLaren Speedtails, like crazy cars. And man, like after like 3 weeks of being surrounded by those cars, you're like, okay, it's just another car. Like I don't want to clean this McLaren. Like I've seen 400 in the past week. Like you lose all that like emotional value with the car, and then you're like, man, this is literally just a car, just like a Toyota Camry's a car. And what's crazy is like, man, I remember cleaning this one McLaren. It was the car the dealership used to move parts back and forth from other dealerships, and it was a 2020 720S. This car had 8,000 miles on it, and this car was like, bro, the leather was falling apart, Alcantara was trashed, paint was scratched up, and like sure, you can make the argument like, oh well, it was a car they moved back and forth, but it had 8,000 miles on it. If you have a Toyota Camry with 8,000 miles, that thing's brand new. You could eat off the seats. This McLaren with 8,000 miles looked like it was about to fall apart. And you start to realize like bro, is this even like this car is worth more than my house, and it's like falling apart after 8,000 miles. And like, don't get me wrong, like if you love cars like I do, you definitely see the value. But it just got to the point where it was like, after the 30th McLaren that I washed in a week, you're like, bro, it's just a McLaren. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you almost lose that value of it. And like, I know myself. Like, let's say, and don't get me wrong, I still want to work hard enough that I can afford my 911 GT3 RS. But I'm being realistic with you guys. I know myself. I'm going to buy a 911. I'm going to get my dream car. I'm going to beat the piss out of it for probably a week. And then after that week, it's going to be in my garage. I'm going to think to myself, this doesn't make me that happy anymore. Because like, for example, I had a BMW that I did a big turbo on. It was a 2017 340i. I had air suspension, big turbo, fully built. And once that car was fully done being built, I was like, okay, what's next? And then after I sold it, I got a Tesla Model 3 Performance because I wanted something super fast off the line. After I did like 20 launch controls into it, I was like, okay, what's next? Because you get to the point where you're like, you're always chasing something when you put material value over everything else. You're always chasing the next thing. You're always chasing the next car. You're always chasing the next watch. I feel like a lot of these people who put material things over everything else, 9 times out of 10, they're like more sad and depressed than the people who don't. And I'm not saying everyone is, but like, it's hard to like, I see so many guys who are like these millionaires, and you can tell they're just not happy because they're always chasing the next thing. It's never enough. Like the $60,000 watch and the $500,000 car, they buy it, but they've lost their touch of what money actually means and what money can do for them. And they just want to put on this persona of I'm rich and I have all these things going for me. And they lose that value, and they always just chase the next thing. And we see it all the time with millionaires or Hollywood people or superstar athletes, where it's like these guys are depressed, and it's like, it's like, bro, how are these guys depressed when they're millionaires? But it's because they're putting the wrong things first. They're not putting the right things that are going to make them happy as their foundation. They're putting materialistic items as their foundation, and that's not something you can, build upon. Like, for example, like, a lot of people think that, materialistic things are going to fix how they feel, but it's like, bro, once you get that shoe you want or that car you want, or you'll get this look, you're thinking like, I'm going to feel confident, I'm going to feel successful. But like the high of it, it lasts like 24 hours. And then you're just like, okay, what's the next thing I can get? And, I guess I just came to realize that a lot of those materialistic things are just like they're just filling space. They're not giving you any value. So I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about a lot. So it's like to kind of pivot. It's like, what makes you feel good? What's going to make you happy by getting financial freedom? It's not the getting the cars, and it's not the getting the nice clothes. It's having that financial freedom to truly live how you want and just to be stress free. This world is filled with just stress and anxiety and people fear mongering. And it's like the reason I want to be financially stable is to provide for the people I love and just to live a stress-free life. You know, I personally find a lot of value in getting stronger, whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally. I like solving problems. I really like working for the company I work for. They appreciate me. They like the work I do. They tell me all the time. They challenge me with new work, and I find a lot of joy in that. That makes me happy. Traveling's fun. I love traveling and creating new experiences. But even something is just like sitting in my backyard. Like, I love sitting in my backyard under the sun, by the pool, and just chilling. I don't need crazy things to make me happy. Family makes me happy. One day I want a family of my own, be able to provide for them. And I feel like you realize that there comes a certain point in life, I feel like for most people, where you go down two paths. You realize that life is really not about the material wins. And once again, I'm not hating on people who have material wins. I definitely want to have a house one day, and I want to have a Porsche one day, and I want to have a nice car, and I want to have a nice watch. But that's not what I'm putting first and foremost in my mind, and that's not why I'm starting this financial journey. I'm almost making this video to keep myself accountable in a way. So, you go down two paths. You either realize that life's not about material wins, or you stay down the path of, I haven't proven my worth yet until I get all the materialistic things that I need. And I feel like one route is going to make you a lot happier than the other. And I feel like if you go down the route that I've gone down, where you realize life's not about stacking material wins, you start learning it's about stacking internal ones. It's about setting goals for yourself. It's about setting goals that you can complete that make you feel good. It's about pushing yourself to be a better person and trying to be 1% better every day, even when no one's watching, even when you're by yourself, just trying to be a better person. When 2025 started, I wrote down a bunch of goals and I taped them to my door. And maybe I'll post a picture of them. But I taped them to my door, so every time I walk out of my door, I can see those goals. So it's one of those things where I've been trying to just, once again, ask myself why I want to get into this financial journey. And, I don't know if any of you can relate. I have a lot of friends my age who I talk to, and, they all want to be crypto millionaires overnight, and they all want to, be entrepreneurs, and that's great. I'm not hating on anybody's goals. But like I said, I'll ask them, like, hey, why do you want to do that? And 9 times out of 10, it's always, oh, so I can buy this car, and I want this watch, and I want this, iced out AP, and I want all this fame, and I want people to know who I am. And, I'm not that friend who necessarily is like the killjoy where I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be focusing on that. Like, I encourage my friends to get what they want, but at the end of the day, it's like, I know deep down inside that if they get that, it's not going to make them happy, And I feel like, I don't know if a lot of you think that same way, but it's like, those materialistic things, I mean, they might create happiness for a minute or two, but at the end of the day, it's like I feel like they're not there to create long-term happiness. I feel like the long-term happiness comes from the things that are internal, the things that you can control in your mind. And like I said, I feel like the people I see on YouTube who are truly in control of their finances and are truly financially free, and the ones that are living modestly and have a family, those are the guys that you see them and they just look happy. You can tell they're not stressed. You can tell they're living life day to day. They're enjoying their time. And then you see the people who are like, oh, I just bought this brand new house, but now I have a $10,000 mortgage and I have this $500,000 car, but I can't afford the tires on it. And, but it's okay because I just bought this $60,000 wristwatch, and in the next week I'm going to get tired of it, so I'm probably going to buy a $70,000 wristwatch to impress these people online. And it just kind of gets stale. And I feel like, this age group is plagued with people that want to just show off everything and want to just have all this money to dump on other people, and I feel like it's a very, especially when it comes to like social media, is a whole nother topic. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but it's a whole nother thing with like, people flexing on people. And then you have people who watch these videos online and think that's how I'm going to get happy. But you only see a 10-minute video of their life. You only see a 10-minute video of them buying a supercar or a 10-minute video of them buying a new watch. You don't see the other 23 hours and 50 minutes that goes on in their day. And a lot of times you end up hearing these people are chronically depressed and, on drugs and alcoholics and have gambling addictions. And it's like, why? Like you think like, okay, well, you're a multimillionaire. You're wealthier than anyone could imagine. But you have all these internal issues. And it's like, why? And it's because, like, money doesn't solve the internal issues. It can buy you a bunch of materialistic things to put band-aids on things. But at the end of the day, money's not going to be the thing that makes you truly happy, I think if you're getting into this financial journey, and you're at a young age, or if you're at a little bit of an older age, having a goal is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I just want people to be self-aware when it comes to their goal. Really sit down and look, if your goal, if you know yourself and you're saying to yourself, look, I need the watch, I need the $60,000 watch to make me happy, paired with the $500,000 car to make me happy, paired with the $10 million house to make me happy, then you go for it. I'm not here to tell you to not think that way. I'm just here to tell people, or to warn people, I guess, especially, like I said, in my age group, that you really sit down with yourself and understand, like, daydream it. Like, picture yourself in the car you want, or wearing the clothes you want, or wearing the expensive things, or doing the expensive things, and think to yourself, when you lay your head down on your pillow at night, are you really going to be happy? Because like I said, I know myself. I will own a 911 GT3 RS one day. I will do that. That is my goal. That is my automotive goal. But I can also tell you right now, it's not going to make me happy. It's going to make me happy for like a week. It's going to give me that instant gratification of, I did it. I worked my ass off and now I have my dream car. But I can tell you, after a month of owning that car, I'm probably just going to think to myself, hey, it's just a car. That's all it is. It's just a car, Same thing with the watch. I love watches. I love shoes. I'm a huge sneakerhead. I have like 50 pairs of shoes on my shopping list on Go. But it's like, if I bought all those shoes tomorrow, realistically, I could buy half the shoes right now. But I don't, because I know they're just gonna. I can only wear one pair at a time. They're just gonna sit in my room. It's not gonna make me happy. So I don't know. I kind of went on a little bit of a rant in this video, so I apologize about that. But the main thing I'm just trying to get off is, I want the younger people to. I hope someone can watch this video and think to themselves, that's a good point. I don't need the materialistic things to make me happy. Because I used to be that person. I remember, if you asked me when I was 20 years old, what's going to make you happy? I would say, I just need the most expensive car and the most expensive house, I'll be happy. Absolutely no care for my emotional value, my mental value, my physical value. It was all, how much value in materialistic items can I have right now, and that is what's going to make me happy. Now, if you ask me 5 years later, I would give you a completely different answer. Sure, I want the nice things. But the main reason I want money It's just so I don't have to stress anymore, you know. It's so I can support people. It's so I can pay it forward. It's so I can do things with my money that are going to benefit other people and not just myself, you know. That, in my opinion, is why I'd want to be so wealthy. You know, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I literally told my girlfriend when I was younger, if I was money, I would never donate it. I swear to God, I said that. Now I have a completely different outlook. Obviously, I'd want to make sure it's going to the right place, but it's like, I wish I was so rich that I could help so many people. Because I know even $1,000 in someone's pocket could literally change their world around, and I wish I could be the person to supply that. Obviously, making sure it's going to the right person, but you get what I'm saying. And you know, I don't think it's the cars anymore that are going to make me happy. I don't think it's, I shouldn't say I don't think. I know it's not the cars anymore that are going to make me happy, or it's the watches that are going to make me happy. It's going to be how fulfilled I feel in my life on a physical, emotional, level when it comes to my job or my girlfriend or starting a family or just being the best person I can. You know, I feel like it's crazy because I've made less money than I have in the past 3 years, but I feel like I'm at a happier level than I've been because I've started to think like this. So, sorry that was a little bit of a rant, but I hope you guys can take some value out of this video. If you guys think the same way or have thought anything like this, let me know in the comments, and I hope you guys have a good night.